Hey, it's me, Ricky from Get Empowered for Success, and I'm on my way to the job. So, then I took the wrong exit. Crap! Okay, so, I keep hearing that people want to hear about your life story. So, okay. Or hear about real life events and stuff so people can relate. Okay, so my childhood was my childhood, and then my high school year I dropped out of school in 9th grade and I got into drugs. First it was marijuana and then it was other stuff. And then I kept going, trying to go back to school off and on, all the time. I drop out, then I try to go back, and I drop out, try to go back. It was rough. It was really rough. I was being, it was no matter how much I tried, even when I wasn't on drugs or smoking marijuana or whatever, which isn't a drug, but whatever. And I was trying, I was always sent away. I was sent away either to my dad's house or to my mom's house. So, even when I know when I'd argue or get in an argument and I know I'm in the right, I was still considered wrong and it was unfair. So, moving back and forth a lot wasn't good for me. So, I got pregnant when I was 17 with my first daughter, and I had maybe a 9th, 10th grade education, but I was wiser. I was wise, but I still didn't have much of an education other than that, which isn't a horrible thing. It was just more of a street smart thing. So I got pregnant at 17, and I was basically kicked out of the house, and I was told that my family said, okay, we'll pay for you a house down in Christmas Valley, Oregon. It was only a couple $100s for a nice double-wide trailer in the middle of a desert, pretty much. And so I went in, I moved down there with my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, and we lived there for a little while, and I went into labor about a month and a half, 2 months early on Christmas Eve, and I was supposed to have my daughter in February, and I had her on Christmas Eve. And we had to drive I had to convince the guy that I was in labor, not my husband, but a guy that I've known my whole life that also lived down there. I had to convince him for an hour that I was going in labor, and then the drive to the hospital was 2 hours long. So I'm my water's broke or whatever, and I'm going in labor. So I get to the hospital, and oh, by the way, it was snowing and ice. The snow was a couple feet deep, or at least a foot or something on the side of the road. All the roads were icy, and so so we had to drive 2 hours, and then I just told my first daughter's birth story. So anyway, I had her, and then we ended up not being able to afford that place, so then we moved up to my boyfriend's parents' house, or his grandma, and we lived there for a while. Then we finally got our own place, and then we ended up breaking up after a while. But while we were together, I decided to go back to school, because I quit doing drugs. When I got pregnant, I quit doing drugs, and that was one of the problems. My family was still on drugs or doing whatever they were doing, and I did not agree with it. So I said, okay, I'm pregnant, I'm done being this stupid idiot. I'm not going to be like one of those teen parents that is going to do drugs. I'm not going to be that type of person. I'm going to get my life straight. So I started going to the teen parent program, and instead of getting my GED, I actually went through all the grades 9 through 12 in a two or 3 year period. And so when I finally graduated high school, I was 21. I had just turned 21, and I just graduated high school, and it's really late, but I still did it. I did it on my own. You know, I lived on my own. I had actually by the time I actually graduated, I had been split up or broken up with my ex for quite a while, over a year. So it was just me and my daughter for a while, and I was just taking care of her and doing what I can, very just to myself a lot, and just doing what I can, because I know that that's what I want to do, is take care of my kids and take care of myself. That's like the goal in life. It's always been not to be an idiot, and do what I got to do to live the best way I can for me and my kids. So I ended up getting pregnant, and I got a hold of my daughter's dad, which we had split up when he found out I was pregnant. We split up, and so then I was with that other guy, and he raised my daughter for a few years, and then it didn't work out. But so then I was so excited because I got my daughter Stylie to read by the time she was 2, and to write by the time she was 2, which is a huge accomplishment for anyone to get. I think I took the wrong exit again. For anyone to get their child to read and write by the time they're 2 years old, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. And it was not like really aggressive, like teaching her things. It was just reading to her every day for at least 20 minutes, and eventually having her follow along, being, you know, just it was pretty cool. So then I wrote her dad a letter, and I was excited. I was like, I got our daughter to read by the time she was 2, and write, look at this, and it was awesome. And so he visited, and within 2 weeks we got married. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Never just get married to somebody after 2 weeks of not seeing them for a few years, and just because you're so excited that you did such a good job, it's not a good idea. So, yeah, because now we're divorcing. Anyway, so we got married, and he was in the military. So he was stationed in New York, so I had to go up to Fort Drum, New York. And it was hell. I hate Fort Drum, New York. Too much snow, too cold. Just like, that was going to hell. That's how to explain that. But you gotta, when you're a military wife, you gotta friggin' make it the best you can and stay out of the drama, which is what I pretty much did. But it's hard when you got a lot of crap going on, but just stay involved with the community, I think, and I think it would be okay. You'd be okay. So, so we did the New York thing for like 3 years, and we moved to Florida. He had to get out of the military. We moved to Florida, and that was beautiful. I love Florida. He wasn't in the military, but he did work for the government. But it was beautiful. Florida is so beautiful, and I love the smell, because I'm from the Northwest, the West Coast, and the East Coast, they're completely different. But the smell on the East Coast, I love it. Or in Florida, at least. It wasn't so much like that. Then after Florida, he rejoined the military, and we went, and he had me as a stay-at-home mom. And he didn't want me to get a job. He wanted me to raise the kids. So, while I was raising the kids, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go, since I'm at home all day, I have to do something. So I decided that I would, first I got a travel agent certificate online while I was taking care of my kids, raising my kids. And then when we moved to, I did 1 semester in Florida of business management, and then I couldn't afford it anymore, and then in the military, when I got back in, or when he got back in to the military, they did my CAA thing, and I got the rest of my associate's degree for business management from home. And then I also got a real estate appraisal skills diploma. from home. I got all those things from home, and I did what I could, but I really want to just work from home and spend time with my kids. So I've been through a lot of stuff, and there's more to it that I will talk about, just not quite right now because I'm on my way to a job. But thank you for listening to my little story. Anyway, so after Virginia, though, was that my turn? Yes, that was my turn. Maybe. After Virginia, I went to Germany. And then that's where me and my husband got separated. And we still are separated, and we're trying to get divorced. Okay, that's it. Bye.